Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is Your Weather Tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now, heading right on into our Tuesday evening. And after another fairly hot afternoon out there, I tell you what, that will be a thing of the past as we go forward in time. We have the first of two fall cold fronts that's going to be arriving tomorrow, Wednesday. It will also, tomorrow, Wednesday, that front will offer us an opportunity of rainstorms. What appears to be a more likely opportunity of even some heavier rain, maybe some flooding concerns, and even a hit of severe weather. So we do want to catch up on those details. And then, of course, talking about the weekend, we are still tracking those less hot, those even cooler temperatures for some of us as well. So again, details on that coming up. But first of all, this would be your Tuesday evening. Again, temperatures basically easing through the 80s. We're dry. It's kind of a forecast on repeat the last several evenings. Well, it's in the forecast again this evening as well. Also, what's been kind of the forecast on repeat, it's these highs in the 90s, but take a good look at this because you may not see 90s for a while. But again, these were the daytime highs, generally lower 90s around the area, a few 80s peppered in here or there as well. Again, officially here in the Metroplex, DFW topping out at 92 today. And by the way, Dallas Love Field right around 90. So we've had rain in the area. Of course, here in North Texas, we've basically been dry. Again, you can see a few areas in the region over the last 24 hours that have seen rain. Even as we go through tonight, there's going to be rain in the region. But I tell you what, as we get into tomorrow, we are going to have our own opportunity of rain and storms. And it may be in a big time way as we get into, well, tomorrow, Wednesday evening, and tomorrow, Wednesday night. So right now, radar basically quiet here in North Texas, not a lot going on. I am watching two areas, a little, we'll just kind of call it a flex of moisture, a few very light showers traveling up Interstate 45, approaching our southeastern counties, Freestone and even Anderson County. That activity is basically drying up before it makes it into North Texas. But again, there's a 20%, we'll call it 20% opportunity in our far southern counties, southeastern counties as we go through the evening. Otherwise, watching these supercell-shaped storms here, again, coming out of the Big Bend area into parts of West Texas, those will also be approaching our western counties. But similar story. I think those are going to dry up. And even though we have rain chances around the area overnight, I think we basically stay dry. But for us, it's all about this big upper level storm system. You can see the scattered activity across parts of the Intermountain West. But take a look at this here. You can see this big dip. And again, this is a very powerful, lot of upper level jet stream energy associated with this. And so this big storm trough, it's going to begin to come out tomorrow. And again, as it does begin to come out, it is going to push a front into the area. And not even necessarily that front is going to have the bulk of the cooler weather with it. It will trim our temperatures down. But for us, what it's going to do is give us a good opportunity of some much needed rain. But again, unfortunately, it may be a little too heavy. In fact, it may be a little severe as well. Again, more on that coming up. So at least as we go through this evening and tonight, the opportunity of severe weather basically staying out to our west, right? I mean, we're essentially quiet here in North Texas, but as we get into tomorrow, that will be changing. Now, through the afternoon hours, I do think we're relatively quiet, but as we get into tomorrow evening, as we get into tomorrow night, again, you can see the Storm Prediction Center. They basically painted on an area of red. Main concern would be wind, number one. In fact, winds may gust over 65 miles per hour. And again, also an opportunity of some hail as well. I think the overall tornado probabilities remain very low. So there's a couple of those showers this evening. They basically dry up. There's that other activity approaching overnight from the west. That dries up. By sunrise tomorrow morning, could be a few showers and rumbles of thunder in our eastern counties. We will track that, again, for early tomorrow morning. And then I think through the afternoon, we're relatively quiet. Here comes the front. Take a look at this. And then we'll have a line of storms. Any of this here along the leading edge could be severe. That will push through our area. But even behind it, moderately heavy rain ongoing as we go through most of the overnight. And then as we get into Thursday, as we go through the morning, we'll basically taper all of that off. But again, that's going to be a pretty decent round of rain. And again, like I mentioned, for some folks, even though we need it, maybe a little too much, 1, 2, 3+ inch totals, all could be possible. So 70s, it's going to be a balmy overnight, pretty humid as well. Tomorrow, most of us staying just below 90. There are those increasing rain probabilities as we go through tomorrow, especially the deeper we get into the day, into the evening. And then as we get into Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, generally 60s for overnight lows. Then take a look at that. We do begin to taper off those high temperatures as we get into Thursday. So it's a 100% opportunity of rain and storms Wednesday night. We taper that off quickly as we get into Thursday. We trim the temperatures down, but then take a look at that. Our next front arrives for the weekend. Saturday, daytime high of 71, overnight lows in the 50s.